This is Petri Hawkins Byrd, and you're watching RealUrbanNews.com.
After serving 25 years as the bailiff on the set of Judge Judy, Petri Hawkins Byrd makes his return to the courtroom. He's in a new show called Tribunal Justice.
One verdict.
Scammers.
Judge Levy.
The stolen items were not your fault. I mean, someone very smart once told me, if you ever find yourself deep in a hole, stop digging.
Can I finish what I was saying?
Dig away.
Judge Acker.
Call somebody else.
Gentlemen.
He's the one that had it.
Stop.
When she asks you a question, answer the question. How's that?
I'm Michael Real, and this is Real Urban News. We sit down for a very intimate conversation with Petri Hawkins Byrd and his lovely wife, Makita Bond. Petri Hawkins Byrd and your lovely wife, Makita Bond, two New Yorkers.
Oh, yeah.
How did you all find one another?
First of all, if I'd have met her years ago in New York, I'd have been arrested. Okay, she's
You're damn right.
She's 27 years my junior.
Sure am.
Okay, I got children and socks older than her.
Really?
You know, so.
What a great relationship.
Oh yeah.
Love at first sight.
No. So I didn't really like him, you know. I didn't really like him. I found him funny and I found him attractive, but when I started working for Judge Judy, I didn't want to be noticed for dating the talent. You know, I wanted to be noticed for my work. And you kept asking me out like so many times, just come out and have a drink, come out and have a drink, come out and have a drink. Eventually, I went out and had a drink and had a great time. So then that became more formal. We kept our relationship secret until like about a year. And then CBS was like, you got to sign some.
Do not tell it all. Okay, I'm gonna keep it simple for you. I saw her one day in the hallway by my dressing room, and I said, "The Lord is my shepherd. I see what I want."
And the rest is history. America has come to know you, Byrd, as the bailiff on one of the top court programs.
Correction, the top.
The top court program, which you wrapped up in 2021, Judge Judy. What a great ride you had.
Wow, 25 years. 25 years. And to answer you, this is what a mind reader I am. Your next question is, did you really think it was going to last that long? Hell no. Nobody in Hollywood thinks that their show is going to last 25 years. But this show was destined from the beginning to be something different and something that America was going to hold on to for 25 years.
And you got that show, and you've told the story a million times in a million different places. But you really got it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
By simply writing a friend a kind note.
The kids don't know about that today, but back then, I actually found out about her upcoming show by reading the newspaper. And I was reading Liz Smith's gossip column and happened to see a name in there that I recognized, Judge Judy Sheindlin. And they said that they were developing a TV show for her. I got excited and decided to write a letter of congratulations to her. God bless you. I hope things work out for you. P.S. If you ever need a bailiff, I still look good in uniform. Now, she had to take my word for that because, like I said, we're pre-computer, you know, so there's no immediate gratification, you know, so I could have been 800 pounds, you know. She called me about 3 weeks later on my job and told me that she appreciated the letter and said, hey, you were kidding at the end of your letter, but we do need a bailiff. It's an unscripted show, and we need somebody that, kind of understands how I move, my ebb and flow. And she said, and as I remember, you kind of crazy. I said, well, I'm still kind of crazy. She said, well, if you're crazy enough to try this with me, I'll recommend you for the job. And the rest, as they say, is history.
What do you credit that history to?
Taking the time out to wish somebody well. Even when it's not your turn, I believe that if you take the time out to congratulate people when it's their turn, karma has a way of coming back around and rewarding you for that, And if it doesn't, then hey, it just wasn't your turn. But this was a divine appointment as far as I'm concerned. I could have not read the paper that day. I could have not written a letter to her, and God knows where I'd be. But I advise anybody, take the time out to congratulate those who are doing well.
Mm-hmm. You all wrapped that show in 2021. You returned to a Sheindlin produced show,
Mm-hmm.
Tribunal Justice in 2023.
Right.
Uniform still fitting.
New uniform. but I still have the old uniform. I keep it just for parties.
Nice to be back on set.
It's a different type of vibe. It's a different type of thing because now I have 3 times the judges and an extra bailiff in the courtroom with me. So it's different. It's very, very different than what happened for 25 years. For 25 years, it was just me and the boss, and that's the only people we had to worry about. But now it's, now the band's back together, so to speak.
Yeah. While waiting to go to your next courtroom, you have the Hulu show.
Clipped was originally based on the Sterling Affairs, which was a podcast that was done in which the writer of an article talked about what happened with Donald Sterling and that whole Clippers fiasco where he made some disparaging remarks about African Americans, and his paramour recorded it. It was leaked to TMZ. And so behind this podcast, somebody decided that it would make a good series, a good limited series, and I went out for the role of Alvin Gentry, one of the assistant coaches under Doc Rivers, who is played by Sir Lawrence Fishburne. I love it that the fish and the bird got a chance to work together, And Ed O'Neill is portraying Donald Sterling.
You also have a show right now on Disney.
I'm a guest on The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, which was brought back into prominence on the Disney Channel, and I actually have the honor, if you will, of playing myself as a judge. So the character is Judge Byrd. He has his own Judge Judy-like TV show, and even has a theme song.
Who's that man with the gavel in his hand? Judge Byrd. Oh, that's one bad. Objection. Overruled.
And your lovely wife. How do you all manage to stay so busy and yet stay so close together, stay in love? Makita.
So he's my best friend, first and foremost. So when you have your best friend and you go through something like I went through stage 3 brain cancer. I was rocked because I was still working for Judge Judy, and I was rocked to my core. I was working remotely. I remember the day, March 8th, 2021. Petri went to go downstairs to get coffee, and we were going to watch the VIP of interviews, Oprah and what's her name, Meghan, Prince Harry interview. So we taped it on Friday. He got us some coffee. I took the sip of coffee. I put it down on a nightstand. I had the remote in my hand, and all of a sudden I felt my teeth chattering like this, and then gone. So he could pick up from the rest.
My wife experienced her first, and thank God,
Last.
her only
Thank God.
seizure. And I did not know what to do at that point. I just dialed 911. The paramedics came. They must have been right down the block. They came immediately. By the time they got to us, the seizure had passed. And I don't know if anybody out there knows about seizures, but they seem to last forever, when in actuality they generally only last about 2 minutes. She came out of the seizure. We took her to the hospital. That was 10:30 that morning. By 4:30 that afternoon, the doctor came in and said to us, okay, well, she has a quail egg-sized tumor on the left frontal lobe of her brain. And I was like, who are you talking to, man? You must want Makita Jenkins. She's down the hallway. This Makita here just got a clean bill of health from her doctor.
2 weeks prior.
Right, yeah. And he assured us that no, there was no mistake. You know, all the tests, the C scans and all that had determined that she did have this tumor. And then he said, well, we can take it out tomorrow morning. I'm like, wait a minute, man, you talking about brain surgery, bro.
I was like, okay, sign me up, because I was just worried about work. I wanted to get all my stuff in. And he said, if this was your wife, what would you do?
Yeah, that's what I said. and the guy looked at me, he said, well, I would take her home. I would research all the information that about what I've just told you. And he said, I would get a second opinion. I said, well, we're going to go with door number 2. And we're going to get a second opinion and find out what's going on. And thank God we did, because he had estimated that he would be able to take out about 60 to 65% of the tumor. But we wound up going to somebody that, believe it or not, Judge Judy recommended, amongst other people, Dr. Keith Black at Cedars-Sinai, who is like the premier brain surgeon in the country, if not the world. Oh yeah, in the world, yeah. And this brother, he went in and removed 95% of the tumor, and that was 2 years ago.